You already know that in predictive planning we are doing the PERT and the network diagram and the critical path and all this stuff, but you might probably don't know that these methods are having some lags when it comes to resource management. And in this video I'm going to talk about the main issues that you might face with the critical path method. And these terms are Parkinson's Low, self-protection, sandbagging, student syndrome, multitasking, and Dropped Batton. So we gonna discover all these terms and explain them one by one why they consider it as an issue for this predictive planning. So let's start with the Parkinson's Law. And this law, usually when someone starts working on a task, let's consider this as task A, which started in day, let's say 5, and finish in day 10, okay? All right, so for the Parkinson's Law, he says that maybe the person finish the task at day 8, but since there are 2 days left, they are going to lower their effort in order to complete the task on day 10. So if I make a graph about this behavior, and if I do like this, and this is effort, and this is time, and let's consider this as a deadline, the person who is doing this task will do a lot of effort here, but there is still some time, you know, so they lower the task until the finish date. So they can deliver the task on day 8, but they don't because he still or she still has 2 days to finish the work. So she completes fine-tuning the work, improving it, doing some other stuff, and these 2 days usually are considered as gold plating, because it's possible to deliver on day 8, but the person who is doing the task is just like delaying because he has more time. So that's Parkinson's Law. And the self term is self-protection. What does that mean? Okay, so for self-protection, the employee or the team member actually finished at day 8, but they don't like to tell the management or the project manager that they finish on day 8. So this is like 2 days, like do nothing. Okay, and the reason is fear. They fear from the management that if today I told the management that I take just 3 days, not 5 days to finish task A, maybe the next time they will tell you, you are able to finish quickly, so next task you should finish it quickly as well, and in the next planning we will give you less time to finish your work. So that's why they hold the information out of fear. The fear comes not just from the management side, but also comes from the peers as well. They fear that if they told their peers that they finish quickly, maybe their peers will be mocking on them. Hey, you are a hard worker and you work a lot and you are trying to do things early, and you are not a good team member because you are not like the others, you know, like a nerd. So that's why team members, they try to hold this information out of fear, so they don't do anything until the finish date. Sandbagging, on the other hand, is also finishing on day 8. Okay, they don't do anything, but just because there is no interest to share the information. Like, they finish early, but the delivery date on day 10, so they just told managers that they delivered on day 10. So there is no reason for hiding the information. Since delivery is on this date, just we deliver on this date. You as a project manager, or you as a manager in general, you don't know when this team member actually finished the task. And the team member did not take the effort to inform you that they finished it earlier, because the deadline is still in next 2 days. So they don't have any interest for tell you, the project manager. So let's now move to the student syndrome, which is actually the opposite of the Parkinson's Low. Instead of making a lot of effort in day 5, just you do nothing here, and on day 7 or 8 you start doing a lot of effort in order to finish the task on time. So if we make a graph like we did in the Parkinsons Low, we can do something like that. This is the effort again, and this is time. And since the team member know that the deadline is here, deadline, okay, and they estimate that maybe 5 days is too much, so I will start working on it on day 2 or day 3. Maybe 2 days are sufficient. And they don't do anything here, or they just do little. And now they do a lot of effort on before the deadline. So the problem here is maybe you don't have enough time to finish on time, and you finish, or you deliver the task beyond the deadline, and that will impact the subsequent tasks. So this is the problem with the student syndrome, and these, as you can see, are issues for a team member dealing with one task. Now, when a team member is dealing with multiple tasks, so multitasking is another problem that we might have. Let's imagine that you see, like here, task A, 5 days, okay? Then you should do task B in another 5 days. And then you will do task C in another, to make it simple, 5 days. All right? Okay. If you do these 3 tasks subsequently, the lead time of task A is 5. If we take this as a reference, this is 5, and this is 10, and this is 15, okay? Okay. Now imagine that instead of doing A, then B, then C, you will do like this. A, then a little, let's say 2 days here, 3 days here for B, then 3 days for A, then 2 days for C, okay, this is 5, then you come back and do another, like you see B here, 3, another 2 for B, then another 3 for C. Okay, so as you can imagine here, in order to finish A, instead of finishing it on day 5, you finish it here on day 8, because you just do multitasking. You do B, then you come back to A. Same thing for B. Instead of finishing it on day 10, you finished it here on day 12. You can see that increased the cycle time. And if we are ordering tasks like here, and you do some work here, then you jump, you do some work here, then you go back and you do some work here, then you will not finish task A completely until starting on B, like you are doing multitasking, and that will be delaying the delivery of these tasks. So multitasking could have some side effects besides also the changes between tasks, switching between task A, task B might take some time to adapt, and this time is also consuming in some cases. All right, so let's move on to the Dropped Batton term, which is when two people are involved and someone finished task A. Let's take the same example on day 5, day 10, sorry, and then task B will start from 10 to 15, okay? So imagine that this team member finished this task early. So let's say again they finish it at 8. Okay. If we are not managing resources appropriately, this will not be exploited, because task B is supported to start on day 10, not on 8. So you will have a gap of 2 days, nothing will be done. We delivered early, and the other team member who is working on B is not ready. He has something else to do, and he can or she can only work on task B on day 10, even though task A is already finished from day 8 or even before. So this is a Dropped Batton, and when you finish task early, but the subsequent task cannot be started because the other team member is not available. All right, so these are the 6 terms that you should know for the resource management. For those who will take the PMP, you might have a question about these 6 terms as a drag and drop. So it's good to understand these terms. When it comes to the planning techniques in the predictive, the critical chain, which is an evolution of the critical path, tries to take into consideration this like syndromes or patterns, but in the PMP they don't ask you further question or details about the differences between these 2 approaches, critical path and critical chain. Just ask you about these issues and how well you are understanding these issues. Hope that helps, and if you have any questions, as always, please put in the comment box and I will try to revert to all of you.